Elijah Wood, Samuel Barnett, Hanna Marks, Jade, Eshete, Max Landis, Robert Cooper, and Arvind Ethan David. How about it? How about it?
Is this the most amount of people you've had on stage?
No, actually.
Really?
We had a couple panels. We did, Thrilling Adventure Hour. Do you guys, anybody come to the Thrilling Adventure Hour? Thrilling Adventure Hour? There's like really awesome actors and stuff, and they do this. They do staged readings. I'm not gonna get into it. The point is.
Oh, like radio plays.
Yeah, like radio plays in
okay.
LA at Largo at the Coronet. They do these awesome things, or they used to. I think they're.
Do they do
Elijah,
live
this is
Foley
so up
and
your
stuff
alley.
as
You've
well?
never been.
What's that?
Do they do live Foley as well?
They do live Foley as well.
I love it.
Wait,
yeah,
Elijah,
dude.
you've never
Oh,
been
yeah.
to it? This is like so something I would expect you to already know and love.
Oh, well, I'm gonna fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Can
And
we
they-
do a live play now? Can we do a no?
I have some scripts. Hold on a second. No. But anyway, we had there was I can't remember, 20. We had director's chairs. There were
wow.
20 of them. But it was so fun. It was awesome. And then, of course, everyone just talking over each other is an absolute fucking anarchy. But it's Nerd HQ, so hey, what I? Hey, who has questions for our panelists? Anybody? Right there. Boom, right there. Get that lady a microphone.
Hi, so I had the pleasure of just watching your panel, and so I know a little bit about the show, and I really love the made-up disease. I think that's
Thank you.
awesome. So, kind of general question for anybody that wants to answer. If you could have a disease named after yourself, what would it be and what would the symptoms be?
So,
I fucking
We're
love
already
Nerd
on
HQ.
slippery slope.
Best question of the day, right?
I mean, how many times can we tell people, well, holistic means? Anybody got one? I'm still thinking.
I mean, I'm a hypochondriac, so I feel like I just want to rename hypochondriac to my name.
Yeah, that works.
That makes
A
sense.
Hanna-chondriac?
Hanna Markitis?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 Right?
Anybody else want to get?
Elijah Wooditis?
I like that.
If you say it fast enough, it's out.
Elijah Wooditis. Elijah Wooditis sounds real.
It does, Elijah Wooditis.
You have to take off the H. Elijah Wooditis.
Elijah Wooditis.
Elijah Wooditis.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, she got it from eating a live rat. What does it do? Well, you can see. Well, no, I can't. When do I go in to see her? No. You don't understand. What do you mean?
Are you talking to us or are you talking to yourself?
There was a whole thing happening.
All right,
here.
I'm just checking.
It was headed somewhere good, but on second thought, I'll take the note.
Arvind, anything? All right, next question. Not everybody at once.
Does everyone know what Dirk Gently is?
Oh, actually,
sick.
wait a minute.
How many of you guys were just at the other panel? Oh,
Wow,
fuck,
hey,
yeah.
guys.
Do you want the good pitch I'm not supposed to do?
Is that going to get me in trouble?
No. It just
Fantastic, go for
It's
it.
complicated and confusing, but it's fast. Former punk rock lead singer Todd Brotzman is having the worst day of his life. His financial situation has worsened significantly. His life is now in danger from a landlord who is borderline psychotic. As Todd's life spirals into oblivion, he finds himself at a crime scene, a bizarre murder, a room stained with blood, and a killer who appears to either be an animal or something big enough to bite a man's head off. Todd finds himself fired from his job, his car destroyed, and returns home to discover an odd British man already in the process of breaking into his apartment. This man insists that he and Todd will not only be partners in solving a crime, but also best friends. Todd takes this pretty bad, as you would if Sam broke into your apartment and started saying this. Actually, since it's Sam, you might be excited, but that's why it's a TV show. No one as cute as Sam ever breaks in anymore.
Not anymore.
Not since Victor Frankenstein. But no.
What I love is that we actually just got a radio play right now. We were talking about it, and now you just gave it to us.
I didn't get to her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
It's okay, it wraps up. Todd immediately attacks, defeats easily, and hurls the British man out of his apartment, only for him to circle back around, again insisting that all elements in Todd's life will lead him into this case. It becomes harder and harder to deny. 175 miles away, a man has been hired to hijack a power grid when the people who hired him are brutally murdered with a machete, and he finds himself the prisoner of a roving psychopath who claims to be invincible and on a mission from God. Somewhere in the desert, an old diesel van rattles towards Seattle, headed inexorably towards Todd and Dirk. Inside of it, a raging storm of blue fire and loud music. In a house 30 miles away, a young woman sits trapped by her own disease. And on the street, a dog wanders aimlessly but with purpose. An heiress has gone missing. A billionaire is dead. 10 years ago, Lux de Jure, noted rock star, vanished without a trace. Everything is connected. And that is the first season of Dirk Gently.
Dude, that is so good.
Yeah,
And that's our show.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
There is now no need to tune in.
You've also learned that that's fast for Max Landis. That was the quick explanation. Any other questions? Oh, anybody want to add to that story? Arvind? Do you want to add to that?
Add to that?
Next
Do you
question.
think that needs more?
No, right here, right in the front.
Hi, Max. I'm a big fan. I don't know if
I
you
know we've met before.
I'm glad you remembered. So, what has been the most rewarding part of being the lead writer on a TV show, and what's been the most difficult part of having to write a whole TV show?
The answers are both sitting to my left. And I don't mean either of them are difficult. Okay, so the hardest part is, if you're a fan of mine, you know online, I bitch a lot. Because being a screenwriter is super hard. Being a showrunner or an EP, it's emotionally hard. You know, Drew Goddard says that the screenwriters who suffer and are unhappy are the ones who care, and they're also the good ones. And the ones who say it's easy are the bad ones. Because, you know, I used to work at McDonald's. I never woke up in the middle of the night crying because someone wanted to change my hamburger, you know? But these guys, Arvind has loved Dirk for a million years. And when he came to me, I've always really liked Arvind, which in this business, the people you meet who you go like, oh, I like you, it's so rare. So it was like, okay, Arvind or Gently, this sounds amazing. And then the hardest part is the actual making of the show. You get executive notes, but they're not that bad. Instead, you're dealing with the limits of concrete reality and logic. And those, if I were alone, I would just fall on my face. Thank God.
Let me give you a little example.
This man is here to save
Let
me.
me give you a little example. It's just a small window into Max.
Ew.
Front window, right?
Yeah, just a small window. Here's something Max said recently. Wait, months have 30 days?
I thought sometimes it was like 25 and sometimes it was like 33.
30 days has September, April, June, and November.
And
the
also
rest.
sometimes 23 if it's an August in a leap year.
I didn't know the end of that.
You know what I just learned the other day? I learned that turkey legs at Disneyland are actually emu.
No
What?
Emu.
Are they
They're
baby
fucking
emu?
We're
Baby?
eating emu legs at Disneyland, people. Next question. Right there. No kidding.
Ever had
actually.
the hand-dipped corn dogs at Disneyland?
Yes.
I mean, those fresh dipped. What the hell? So good.
Do you know they're actually hand-dipped corn emu?
Yes, sir.
I have quite a very serious question for all of you. What do you think is the point of human existence? And mind you, last time I asked this question, Seth Green answered me with simply the words, 42, so that's a thing.
Well, he was right.
The point of human existence? Wow, buddy.
Oh, let's do this. Let's do this. Pick one word. One word.
No,
One
no,
word
no.
answer.
He chose the wrong book. We're a different book. The point of human existence is that the entire world has a plan. You can't see it, you'll never know it, it does not care about you, but everything that touches each other is chaos, perfectly synchronized, moving endlessly inward and cycling onward. In fact, if you were someone who could see these connections, you would see the Mandelbrot set spiraling off into nothing. Everything is as it is meant to be, even when it's not. And your job is to make sure it isn't, because it won't be if you don't when it is.
Try and shoot that.
He saves my life like 3 times a day.
Next question. Yes, up in the back there. Right there. Right behind you. Right behind you.
So I've been panels with superheroes all day, so I have superheroes on the brain. If you could be a superhero, who would you be and why?
I would actually be Dirk Gently. Because his power is so ridiculous. To have a vague sense of how everything fits together, but not to be able to do that much about it, is sort of just like life to the power of Dirk. So that works for me.
Robert, you got anything?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna be a superhero, you're gonna be Superman, right? Because he's clearly
The most
the
powerful.
most powerful.
Yeah.
So why, I mean, I personally, if I
Oh,
start,
do you disagree?
Well, I mean, of the superheroes as I was growing the comics, I liked Batman. I mean, to me, Batman was more relatable. You felt like a real human being who was just doing super cool stuff. But if you're gonna be somebody, why not fly? Right?
It's true.
Max.
Oh, I mean, I've answered this question on 1,000 podcasts in 1,000 different ways, and I want to know Jade's answer, honestly.
I wish I had a good one. I don't think that there's a superhero out there that I would want to be, like, super or anything like that. I think I'd want a specific superpower.
Yeah, that's
Which is what?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's get into it.
I would. It's not as okay. I'd want to. I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn, so I spend a lot of time on the train.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in traffic. So I would want to teleport.
Heck
I
yeah.
just want.
By the way,
I
that's what I would want.
right? Just
Because
like go somewhere real quick.
Yeah, and everybody wants to fly, but then you don't think about the logistics. Like, you gotta carry all your fucking bags
Your
with you.
hair is messed up. It's not.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? And also, as far as the comic books talk about teleportation, most consistently the rules are like whatever you're touching comes with you. So then you can bring your fucking friends too. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's the
I
thing.
like that.
Is it like a jumper teleportation or Nightcrawler teleportation or Cloak and Dagger teleportation or I should stop talking?
just teleportation. Hannah.
I'm gonna say Spider-Man,
Oh,
Perfect.
but I think it's because I have a crush on Tobey Maguire.
Okay, well, I want a superpower, which might reveal a bit too much about me, but I want mind control.
oh wow.
Over who?
Oh my God, so many people. Because if only everyone would do what I think they should do, everything would work so much better. We'd
Why
still
do
be
the
in
British
Europe.
always try to convince us of that?
Just saying.
Elijah.
I don't know if it's a superpower, but time travel.
Yeah. That's
Time travel. That's.
I mean,
that just gets you in trouble. That just gets you in
Yeah.
trouble.
I don't think so. I wouldn't use it for that purpose.
Can't
what if
change
you-
it.
That's what you say
Even if
now.
you
That's what you say now.
That's what you
No, but I
say
would-
now.
Primarily, I would use it to just experience time periods that I didn't live through.
Yeah.
Go back to the 1950s.
Just watch
and
Midnight
see
in
Miles
Paris.
Davis in New York, or
Yeah, but you might do something when you're back there that affects the rest. I mean, it's too
I
dangerous.
wouldn't mess with that. Although it would be really fun to
How
fuck
do you
with people's
know?
minds, like
But it's the butterfly.
play music from a different era to people in like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, you'd fall in
is
love with
this
a woman.
devilry?
You'd fall in love with a woman, and the next thing you'd know, you'd be your own grandfather.
No, you're right. That's true.
Right now.
That is my.
What is happening right now?
This is one of my best friends on earth. She helps organize this event.
I know.
Oh.
I've been in Vancouver for the last 4 months making my TV show.
That's Chloe, everybody.
Get out of here, you're ruining the panel.
I love that you just told me that she helps organize this event.
You are so at home on this stage. I just assume you're
That I
like
don't
Peter
leave.
Pan.
I just
You
stay
just-
in this seat all day.
Yeah, it's-
By the way, I have thought about getting a fucking lazy boy up here. I think it would be fantastic.
That's a great
I really
idea.
do, because my legs are so long, and I never. If you watch me in any panel, I'm like switching all day. I'm putting them up in here. I can't. I just chipped my tooth right now on my mic. But to have a lazy boy with like a little cozy, like
Get a
beer
massage chair.
koozie. What's that?
Massage chair.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, but then you do that thing.
But then I'd be
where you're in the
facing
massage
this way
chair
with
and you do
somebody like
this.
I'd be in like. Right? Aren't those the ones you're talking
I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that could work as well.
Nice.
I like you. I like you. What the hell were we talking about? Oh, Chloe. Yeah, she's fantastic, by the way. She's worked with us for a long time, and you are a rock star, and thank you so much. Her and everyone on our staff, and all of our volunteers, and everyone. You're awesome. Welcome. Next question. I saw that one shoot up first. Yes, you, sir.
This question is for Mr. Wood. In the movie...
Yo, that is sick. You are no longer Elijah to me.
I certainly had that, Mr. Wood. I suddenly had that thing that happens when you're on a panel with a lot of people where then you get a question pointed at you and your stomach turns. That just happened. Cool. Yeah, it's fine. It's going to be fine. I'm going to get through this.
Not as much as mine.
Nah.
In the movie The Good Son.
Oh, boy.
A
Going
woman
back.
is holding you and Macaulay Culkin over the side of the cliff,
Correct.
and she has to choose who to save.
Yeah, it was a literal cliffhanger.
So, in the scenario, you are the woman. Who do you save? Sam from Lord of the Rings or Wilfred?
That's easy. That's easy. Because Wilfred is a figment of his imagination. Wilfred doesn't exist. Save Sam.
Boom!
Don't tell Wilfred that. He thinks he exists.
Spoilers for the series finale of Wilfred. Sorry.
Yes, you, sir, right back there.
Max, I'm a big fan of all your pitches, especially the ones that will never see the light of day.
Are you a fan of any of the movies that get made?
Yeah, Chronicle was amazing, and I love that movie, and I would love that movie and tell everybody to see it till the day I die. But there
Are
was
you gonna die soon?
no.
Just do it while you're alive until you forget about it.
Okay, but there's one on the Indoor Kids where you talk about the 4 guys camping out, and then one of them had the Zodiac Killer.
5 guys.
Five guys.
That pitch is called Fire Sign.
Okay, well.
Return to 100 Acre Wood is one of my favorites.
Thank you so much.
Love it.
That one is actually not a rejected pitch, and it's not anything. It's a script I intend to write.
Okay.
Occasionally, you'll hear me pitch things that, like, I pitched Deeper on a podcast like 2 years ago, and then I finally wrote that and sold it. But I might actually write Fire Sign.
So,
for those of you who don't know, really quickly, like 2 sentences, 5 guys in their late 60s meet up every year at a lake house. They all have secrets from each other. They've been doing it since the 70s. This year, they get a tape. This is the Zodiac speaking. One of these guys is the motherfucking Zodiac killer. And it's a thriller about them in the house. But,
wow.
I like that in the later half of all of your movies, they kind of go off the rails in the best way. This show kind of is always off the rails, from what it sounds like?
it isn't.
Okay.
It keeps coming back onto the rails. The rails just keep changing.
Right.
And so the stories are true in and to them. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Oh no, I just wanted to know if like you're more at home doing this show than other pitches because of the rules can kind of change like that.
Well, the show has rails. They're just not for a train. They're for a roller coaster.
Oh, well said.
Yeah. Next question. Next question, right there in the back.
Thank you. Hi, I have a question for Sam. Hello. I really, 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 really love Penny Dreadful, and I'm so sad that it's over. Did you have... Yes, come on. Did you have any headcanons for Renfield post-finale, or anything you would have liked to have done you didn't get to do?
Pause. Sam, do you know the term headcanon?
No.
Headcanon is fandom for things I believe about this character when I watch them in my head that allows me to enjoy and appreciate the character more.
Thanks, Max.
He does this all through Comic-Con to casual conversations. He will walk up to people in the street and footnote it for them. It's amazing.
It's useful. It's like another language being here sometimes. What you didn't see in the final episode of Penny Dreadful, because it was cut, was Renfield has this scene with Dr. Seward, and they find out where Vanessa is, and they all leave. And then Renfield is left in Bedlam and is given to Dr. Jekyll. And there is a scene where Dr. Jekyll has perfected his serum, which is what they were going to use on Lily. And he's perfected the serum, and he walks up to Renfield and goes, "Are you ready to change into your true self? And Renfield goes, yes, master. And that was going to continue into the next season. There was going to be some weird kind of bonding between Jekyll and Renfield. But I mean, I love that show, and I was a fan before I was in it, but I feel like it's had a kind of perfect ending, really. I would have liked to have seen whatever went on between Jekyll and Renfield.
Good answer. All right.
Make it
Next,
clap.
yeah, clap it up. Next question. Next question. Oh, you've been raising your hand. Yeah, you go right ahead. Microphone's right behind you.
Thank you. My question is actually, after I can stand up, in relation to the actual books. My dad gave me Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy when I was 11 and said, I read this when I was a kid. I think you'll like it. And then I read everything Douglas Adams I could possibly get. And when I got to Dirk Gently, it was such a different style of his that I was instantly in love with kind of just a different facet of who he was. So did you guys read the books? When you saw the story, were you like, man, this doesn't even feel like the same universe? What was your take on kind of approaching this universe?
Can Arvind tell the story? I mean, like, this isn't exactly the answer to your question, but do you know how this show is happening?
Why don't you tell us?
Arvind, do you want to tell us how we ended up doing this?
Come on, Arvind.
I will also try and answer the question. I have been a fan of the book since I was a kid as well. I read Hitchhikers first, but then I read Dirk Gently. I found a copy in my school library, and I must have been 15, so it would have, just come out a couple of years earlier. Thank you.
And back.
And it was my turn to direct the school play. And because I was 15 and hadn't read any plays, I was like, let's do this. And like, the teachers were like, you know it's not a play, right? I'm like, yeah, it's a novel about time travel, an electric monk, a horse, 2 murders, 3 parallel dimensions, and a holistic detective. And they were like, sure, you can do that as the school play. So in a theater about this size, on a stage about this size with about this many people, I adapted, directed, and played Dirk Gently, which was kind of mental, and it made very little sense. What happened next made even less sense because Douglas Adams heard about it and came to see it. And you know, when your hero turns up, Max says, I think it's true, I think he mainly turned up to go, how is this possibly happening? How have they taken this impossible plot and impossible story and put it on stage? And all I did, I was playing Dirk Gently, but I was like playing it to one guy, right? And then we went for dinner afterwards, and you're all fans, you know what that moment feels like in your head. And he said, oh, I've never really thought about Dirk Gently as a TV show or a movie, but now I should. And 20 years later, sadly after his death, life happened. I mean, my career started with him. I mean, that's a longer story, but I worked for him, and that was an incredible start to my life. But 20 years later, the estate calls me, and they go, we finally got the rights back. You seem to be making stuff. Do you want to make it? Short conversation. I call him, now we're here.
But did you read the book first? Next question. Go right here.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, I just wanted to say I feel like I should apologize for the Disneyland food question because it's caused a lot of turmoil this weekend.
That doesn't cause any turmoil at all.
Were you the one who revealed the emu?
No, I was the one that asked the question, and then all of a sudden the panel turned into it.
Wait, you asked if the turkey legs at Disneyland weren't made of turkey? What the
Bear
fuck
with me.
happened here?
No, it's Nerd HQ. Fucking anything happens. No, she had asked, I think your question was, if I'm remembering correctly, what is my favorite food at Disneyland? Right? That was the question. And an excellent question. And I said that some of my go-tos were like the dill pickle. I love those dill pickles. Love them. And I would get turkey legs every once in a while. And then somebody said, I can't remember who it was, but somebody shouted, go, that's not turkey. And I was like, I beg your pardon. Actually, I think before that I said, I like the turkey legs, but they all taste like ham. Don't they taste like ham? It's smoked, but it's too smoked. I don't need that. I don't need a pack.
The Seth Green of turkey legs.
Yeah, and then somebody else was like, actually, we work at... The Seth Green of turkey legs? How dare you?
Where is Seth? I know exactly where he is. He has a joint and 2 cats, and he's sitting like this on a couch watching Game of Thrones.
I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations. That's Seth. This is up to you and Max. I don't know. You guys work that out.
I miss you, babe.
I miss you, babe. Anyway, that's how all that shit happened. Yes. What is your question?
Okay, so my question is, what do you find most interesting about the character you play, and what is easiest for you to connect with the characters you play?
Is this for all of us? Uh-huh.
That is a sick question. You are awesome.
It is a good question. What's the most interesting and what else was? What I connect with? Wow. I think what's most interesting about Todd is what is not revealed initially. I think Todd, on the surface, when you meet him, is certainly someone who life has not gone according to plan. We get a sense that he had other plans for his life, that he used to have a band and he had aspirations. Now he's sort of a bellboy at a hotel and things aren't going so well. And his car is all smashed up and any other thing, it's a bad day. So there's that sort of thing that I think everybody can kind of relate to that to a certain degree, but there's these sort of hints that there's something else underneath that make him the most interesting to me. And he's kind of not what you would assume him to be, and there's darkness to him, and he's not necessarily the nicest guy that he sort of seems that he might be. So that's what I love about him. That's what I find most interesting. And as far as what I connect to, I don't know. I think even if a character is not you, you have to take an essence of you to make that thing come to life. So whether or not I connect with Todd on the paper, which I kind of don't really, he's inevitably infused with something of me in order for him to come to life in the way that I made him. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Sam?
I think for me the most interesting stuff about Dirk is the way I suppose his superpower, which is kind of not very super because he doesn't use it very well and he doesn't know what to do with it when he does use it. But the way he sees connections in the universe that no one else sees, the things that everyone else would say is just random, Dirk can actually see how the whole picture fits together. So I found that really interesting, his view. I don't know of another character that's written like that, and I've certainly never played anything like that. I guess what I connect to is he does work very much off his intuition, and as I've grown up, I've realized I've got to go with my gut no matter what, because otherwise I'm in trouble. But also, I guess what I try and bring to it is some of the vulnerability, because it would be easy for Dirk to be just like this wacky, zany, ungrounded, unreal thing, but that's not what Max has written. Max has written someone with tons of heart and soul and real loneliness and vulnerability. So that, it makes me sound really, so I'm quite controlling and quite vulnerable and lonely. I'm not giving a good picture of myself here, but...
And you want to control people's minds.
That's what I mean. I'm
Let's not
really,
forget that.
really controlling. And lonely and vulnerable. No, I mean, it's just easy to connect with that stuff. I can bring that to it. It makes it feel more real for me.
I think my character's interesting because I have pararabulitis and I'm agoraphobic. So I got a lot going on.
Explain what pararabulitis is.
Pararabulitis is a made-up Max disease.
No, it's real.
Google it.
Not an STD.
Google it, it's real. None
yes.
of the STDs involving me are made up.
Wow.
Yeah! This ain't the main hall panel!
You made the same joke on the main hall panel.
Yes, I did. I also made a premature ejaculation joke. I was killing it with those 13-year-old kids.
And their parents loved it.
Wow.
You were saying?
I don't even know what I was saying anymore. I don't know. I mean...
Explain the most interesting thing about Amanda.
I don't know. I have a lot of anxiety, so I relate to her disease because she steps outside and literally lights on fire, and I think that's a beautiful metaphor for my life.
Also...
And I drum on the show, so that was really cool.
Fantastic.
Loved that. Yeah.
Jade?
Farrah's interesting to me because, you know, in a way, she's so different from me. Farrah's a badass. Like, she will beat your ass. And, like, you know, like, several people at the same time, and you're all dead at the same time. Really ridiculous. And I am not that way at all. I never used to fight in school. I would stand across the street and look at the fight from over here. I was not that.
I love that you have tears in your eyes right now.
Makes me cry.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So, yeah, I think for me, that's kind of what's really interesting about her is that she's so trained. She's so good at, you know, all of these things, at the fighting, at the weapons, at everything. So it's a different world from what I've ever known.
But is there something within her that you still feel like you can connect to?
That's right. I do.
You've had every opportunity to say it, and you haven't said it.
Yes, say it out loud.
What is it, Jade? What do you connect with in Farrah?
Well, Farrah, she can so much pressure now.
You're doing it right now.
Oh, yeah, she can be really, she's a little OCD. And she can be like a perfectionist, you know, and that's something that I can really relate to. You know, you come down on yourself really hard when you don't perform at the level that you expect yourself to, or the standard that you set for yourself. And she really beats herself up about it in public. Randomly, you can hear her yelling at herself about it. So yeah.
I love this character.
Yeah, that's sort of-
Jade, what does Farrah feel about being interviewed in public?
She doesn't like it. Not at all. She'd be back there somewhere just like surveying the room, making sure everything was good, and yeah. Mm-hmm.
How does Jade feel about it?
Similar.
Well, thank you for fighting through your ghosts.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate that.
Just for you.
Next question, right there. Boom. Passing it down, passing it down.
Hello. Well, first off, it's funny. I like that the good son was brought up because that's actually was in my hometown where the cliff was.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And
You almost died in her hometown.
We shot it was in Duluth?
Yeah,
Or just,
Two Harbors, Minnesota.
just outside of Duluth, yeah.
Yep. And
Old.
so me and my mom actually met you. I was like 5. But she every time she sees your movies now, she like raves. She's like, oh, he was so nice. Like she was just extremely impressed with like how polite and everything you were, like even at that young, because she also met Macaulay and she said he was an asshole.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long.
But she brings it up every time.
Oh man, okay.
Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that she loves you.
Oh.
And
Tell her I say hello.
And I think you're great too.
Thank you.
But my question
What is the question exactly?
is for everyone, including Zach, if you want to answer it.
Oh, do tell.
I was just wondering, do you guys know the show Naked and Afraid?
Yes.
So I was wondering, how do you guys think you would do if you were thrown into the show? How do you think you would do? What do you think your PSR would be?
PSR? What is a PSR? I don't watch the show. I know of the show.
The primitive.
I mean,
Oh, okay. Like
Just
how well
basically,
we.
yeah. How do you think your survival rate?
Is it like a 1 out of a 10 or what? It was a.
if
So
I'm
when
real, I wake up naked and afraid every morning. So I would give myself a 10 because I'm alive right now.
One of the weird things about Comic-Con is it's a world where like men, and I use the term loosely, like me and Max. Rob is a practical man. But like men like me and Max actually can thrive and be near the top of the pole. In the real world, we'd be dead at 6. Let's be clear.
Yeah, what's the scale? Like, what's the measuring?
Well, 1 is you didn't do much surviving. 10 is, wow, he did so much surviving. And 5 is he survived okay. Aren't you isn't it either 10 or you're dead? What the fuck is a 1 to 10 of how well you survived a day? I'd say I did 10 so far today, but we got 4 hours left.
I think that pretty much answers that. Next question. Yeah, right there. Boom.
Okay, Max, this is the first time meeting.
Superman. Clark Kent. You know my
Let's
shit.
not split hairs here.
No, she knows my shit. That was
Okay,
intentional.
So my question
Semantic.
is, your hair. It's amazing. And what does it take to get there?
2 hours and a very talented hairstylist. Chloe sat and watched me get it done. It was 3 hours, but it felt like 2 because you were there, Chloe.
That's adorable.
And it takes it takes 2 things at age 31 to dye your hair this color for the first time. Number 1, terrifying fear that if you don't do it now, when you do it, it's gonna look stupid. And number 2, not minding knowing that everyone's already gonna think it looks stupid.
But you're retiring it, right? This is the last Comic-Con for the rainbow hair.
Unless we have a season 2.
Oh, you changed the rule.
Wait,
you changed
because you just said that, Max. You realize if we get a season 2, that kind of binds you to doing it again. And that is not the track that you were on. Let me remind you.
I think he's gonna go
I'm just
pink.
looking out for a friend here, y'all. Looking out for a friend. And knew his intention was not.
I can talk about Chronicle 2 and a million other things that
Yes,
don't exist. So
hopefully we'll
enjoy
come back.
season 1, and we'll see where it goes.
Also, I feel the stakes aren't high enough. You will need to dye it back, and then dye it back.
Well, no. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna at the end of September. I'm gonna do I have a funny idea for a video where I shave it off. I'm gonna be brown again, and then if we go back to this show, you've read the treatment I wrote for 2.
Ooh, it's good, y'all.
and there is a group of characters who all have pink hair, and I would want to have a pink hair like a Korik. And by the way, you have to, whenever I say anything that isn't made, something inside me immediately goes to Chronicle 2, immediately goes to Space Mountain, immediately goes to Power Rangers, immediately goes to everything I've done that disappeared into nothing. So please watch Dirk Gently on BBC America.
Tell your friends.
Amen to that. Next question.
Make this man's dream come alive.
Right there. Yes, you darling.
So Hannah, you have agoraphobia, the fear of going outside. What about you guys in real life? Do you have any fears or phobias?
Zach, your people are the best questioners in all of Comic-Con.
Really good.
I fucking know it.
Round of applause for yourselves.
They're really good.
I have a real thing. I have one specific phobia. I say it's the only strange thing about me. My wife and everyone here would disagree, but me, it's the only. I cannot sit in a restaurant with my back not to a wall. I cannot do it. I am convinced someone will come in and shoot me.
Were you like an old cowboy in a previous life?
I remember the day it happened. I read a book called, it was big and blue, and it was called How to Be a Detective. And one of the things it said was, any space you enter, see all the exits and the sight lines, choose a seat on the back of your back to the wall. And I was like 6 years old, and I read this, and it sucked into my subconscious. And as I get older, it gets worse. It's got to the point now that, I literally can't do it. I get the shakes.
You could also try being nicer to other people.
See what he does to us.
Robert, phobias?
Wow, I don't know if I don't know. I mean, I grew up terrified of sharks.
We're helping you through that.
Yeah, I saw Jaws when I was 7. My dad took me to see Jaws when I was 7.
Are you having a flashback right now?
Yeah. And that hurt for a while. Yeah, in fact, when I was about 10, I started to get over it. And my parents thought, well, okay, he's starting to get over it now. Let's educate him a little more, because maybe if he knows a little bit more about sharks, then he'll feel better about it. And they made me watch a documentary called Shark Terror Death. And
what? That was the name of a documentary?
Yeah.
Not a movie on sci-fi?
No, it's a documentary. And they actually, they had a great white shark leaping out of the water and eating a cow that was being suspended by a chain. And That was like another 2 years. My parents are actually, they were fairly bright people, although you wouldn't know it from this story. Anyway.
Max.
He's Canadian. I have this incredible image of, and of course, in the 5th grade, we educate our children by showing them our educational film, Shark Terror Death. It's mandatory. I am a huge pussy. I am very easy to scare all the time for anything. I cry whenever I'm in a physical fight, even if I win. I sob uncontrollably. I'm terrified of heights. I'm terrified of literally everything. But I also have a superpower, which is I am super impulsive and thoughtless. So I'll occasionally, I'll be like, hey, don't cross this, don't jaywalk. Don't fucking jaywalk. And then later in the night, I'll be like, hey, you guys want to go to the thing over there? And a truck will go like that, and then another truck will boom like that, and I'll walk across the street and I'll be like, hey, guys, come on. And my friends will be like, the fuck is wrong with you? But I'm convinced, I'm convinced that eventually, I have a real fear that I'm just not going to be paying attention to something, and it's gonna kill me. And I think about it all the time because I do thoughtless things.
Is that why you Snapchat with an iPad?
Yes.
What is Snapchatting with an iPad? Oh, well, because he's doing this.
Easy there, Candy Crush.
All right. All right, touche. It's true.
And yes, it's so that I have to think about what I Snapchat. And my Snapchat is still terrible.
He scripts our Snapchats.
I know those are really good. I'm saying,
Aren't they?
Well, people love them, but I think they're terrible. What is it? What's the lyric? What's the lyric in the "I'm So Humble" song? People say I'm a 10, but I'm a 2 at best. But I'm an 8 at best. Plus 2 says you, not me, because I fucking love that song. It's a great movie. Did everybody see Pop Star? No one did. You got 2 assignments: American Ultra and Pop Star. They're both really good.
Shut up. One assignment. Dirk gently soliciting detective agency.
Yes, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our panel. Give them a round of applause. That's our time. Keep it going for them as they leave the stage. You guys are good? Keep it going for these guys. Keep it going for these guys. Keep it going. They're still here. They're still here. I mean, his hair is pretty dope, but I don't think his stylist did a great job because it dripped all over his shirt. It's really... was that fun? Did you guys have a good time? Fantastic. Thank you all. Man, I really hope I have a voice tomorrow. It's okay, I'll be okay. I'll get a translator. I don't know. Man, I sound horrible. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you for raising another $4,000 for Operation Smile. I think it's been put on the app, but if in case you haven't seen it or you don't have the app, which you should, but if you don't, I'm gonna go do Smiles for Smiles. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm gonna do Smiles for Smiles, basically like in 5 minutes or something like that, and I'll do it as long as I can. I know you want one. What's your name? Caroline. I'm doing it because you asked me to. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm a nice guy. But also, I try to do at least one a day because I know people are, they want to be able to have a picture, and I want to be able to do that. And it's a nice, fun, easy way to go raise money for charity, and I love that. But unfortunately, I just don't always have the time to do it, and and I don't know why I'm going back there. I don't need to go back there. All right, I'm gonna go bye-bye. Love you guys, bye.
Hold on, folks.